Finally, Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
Finally, Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the TezDown. I'm your host, Tez, of the TezDown. Let's fix this chair a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, I feel more comfortable already. Let's fix this microphone. Get it where it's supposed to be at. What's up, Joe Jet in the building early? What's happening, Joe Jet? We definitely gonna have a nice show for y'all today. I got an icebreaker for everybody that we're gonna open up with in just a few minutes, and then we're gonna streamline it and run it today. I mean, we got some high profile topics that we're gonna be talking about. One of them is it was them. It was them. Now, what that might mean to you today might be a little bit different than what it might mean when we get done, but it was them. Let's get going on it. But our icebreaker for today is going to start with the guy that says he doesn't have any friends, doesn't want any. And this is why.
I don't have none. When I say, bro, I don't want to kick it with nobody. I don't want to go out with nobody. I don't even trust people. I don't even trust my damn self. From the span of 2020 to 2023, the amount of people I used to hang out with, I don't hang out with no more. Understand what I'm finna tell y'all. When you learn how to be by yourself, it's the most relaxing shit ever. You don't have to worry about people talking about you. You don't have to worry about people being there needing you all the time, snaking you out, doing all of that. And no bullshit. The less people you have in your circle is the less problems you got to deal with. You probably got friends in your circle, bro, who probably get in fucking trouble all the time. They always got you with some shit. Or you probably got some people in your friend group who want you to do this and that, but you don't agree with doing that. You want to go your own way. Then on top of that, I already don't fuck with people. I don't even like being around people. And this might be a messed up thing I'm finna say, but I don't even like being around my own fucking family. So really having friends with me, folks, like, it's really not an option for me. Like, I fuck with y'all heavy, bro, but I just don't do well with people in person. Like, when I say, bro, I'm the coolest motherfucker you'll ever meet in your life, but I just don't want to be friends with people because I know what comes with the bullshit. Then on top of that, the things that people do in this generation, I'm not a part of. I don't want to be a part of. So call me lame, call it what you wanted, bro. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to hang with niggas. I don't want to kick it with y'all. I don't have friends. It's probably a lot of y'all like me right now who probably won't say nothing, but y'all probably feel the same way. And I'm just one of the people, bro, who never cared about fitting in with people. Shit, I was the known person in high school, but I didn't have friends. I don't have no friends, bro.
Yo, and I kind of want to unpack that a little bit. Like, that was revelatory right there. He doesn't want any friends for any reason, you know. And I kind of want to listen to it one more time.
I don't have none. When I say, bro, I don't want to kick it with nobody. I don't want to go out with nobody. I don't even trust people. I don't even trust my damn self. From the span of 2020 to 2023, the amount of people I used to hang out with, I don't hang out with no more. Understand what I'm finna tell y'all. When you learn how to be by yourself, it's the most relaxing shit ever. You don't have to worry about people talking about you. You don't have to worry about people being there needing you all the time, snaking you out, doing all of that. And no bullshit. The less people you have in your circle is the less problems you got to deal with. You probably got friends in your circle, bro, who probably get in fucking trouble all the time. They always got you with some shit. Or you probably got some people in your friend group who want you to do this and that, but you don't agree with doing that. You want to go your own way. Then on top of that, I already don't fuck with people. I don't even like being around people. And this might be a messed up thing I'm finna say, but I don't even like being around my own fucking family. So really having friends with me, folks, like, it's really not an option for me. Like, I fuck with y'all heavy, bro, but I just don't do well with people in person. Like, when I say, bro, I'm the coolest motherfucker you'll ever meet in your life, but I just don't want to be friends with people because I know what comes with the bullshit. Then on top of that, the things that people do in this generation, I'm not a part of. I don't want to be a part of. So call me lame, call it what you wanted, bro. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to hang with niggas. I don't want to kick it with y'all. I don't have friends. It's probably a lot of y'all like me right now who probably won't say nothing, but y'all probably feel the same way. And I'm just one of the people, bro, who never cared about fitting in with people. Shit, I was the known person in high school, but I didn't have friends.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand that, man. I can totally understand not wanting to be around people 24/7. We got some more people in here. What's up, Classic? How you doing? Classic, shout out to the loners. What's up, Rain? Classic said, I am not friendly and I can relate. Yeah, I can relate as well. You know, it is a huge drain on you as a person when you have to be around people all the time. It's a huge drain on you as a person when you feel as if you can't live your life the way that you want to live your life because there's somebody else that's something to say about you living your life the way that you want to live your life. You don't have to deal with that when you're by yourself. You don't have to deal with that as a loner. You don't. And it's really peaceful, especially if you get you a dog. You know, you don't have anybody else to worry about bothering you when you're trying to get things done. So Rain said circle is tiny. It's I don't want friends. That's the title of this icebreakers. He's named all the reasons why he doesn't think that he needs them or wants to have them, and how draining it is, and how hard it is to be around people 24/7, especially when y'all don't have the same goals, the same ideals, or they want to get in trouble. They want to do something to attract attention. You might not need that in your life. You might just crave peace. Some of us just crave peace, and to be honest, the best way to get that is to be by yourself. One of the popular things that I like to say, Classic likes to say, and I think he might be the one that introduced all of us to it. In this particular phrasing, is I've never gotten on my own nerves. Never gotten on my own nerves. It's not one of those things. I know people who don't like to be by themselves. I'm not one of those people. I love my company. I appreciate what I got going on here. Like I told dude yesterday, I wake up feeling good. I go to sleep feeling good. It's good to be me. That's just how it is. You got to love yourself, right? If you love yourself, then nothing can really get to you at that type of level. I'm not going to let anybody influence me negatively to dislike me. So why would I want to be around people that want to do that? Well, it's easier. Nobody's going to feel entitled to changing your energy or changing anything about you if you're around yourself. Your animal likes you the way that you are. I don't know anybody who's spoken to their animal and the animal spoke back and said, you know what, you need to give me a little bit more treats. So you need to take, a quarter mile longer of a walk every day. It's not a thing that's happened, guys. It's not a thing that's happened. It isn't. How's anybody going to tell you something about you when ain't nobody around? Well, you ever thought about this? No, I didn't think about that. I've never thought about that a day in my life. The way I think about it is I wake up and I'm as tall as I'm going to get. I wake up, I'm as handsome as I'm going to be. I wake up, I'm as fit as I'm going to be for that day. And I make improvements. You got nowhere else to go but up. You woke up great. If you wake up great every single day, you got nowhere to go but up. The day is going to continually get better. I went on a mile walk. Great. I drank, an extra 8 ounces of water. Great. I took my supplements today. Even better. That's how you feel when you love yourself. When you truly love yourself. If you don't love yourself, I totally understand that too. But you got to think, if you don't love you, why should somebody else? Why should anybody else love you if you don't love you? So you got to start spending some time with yourself. I know a lot of people, I get it. I totally understand it. You need people around, and you need to be around somebody to validate you that day. I'm not one of those people. I'll validate myself 5 times before I even talk to anybody else. Hey, bro, you such a hard worker. Thanks, man. You did your thing today, bro. I know I did. Me talking to me. You're not happy with your own effort and you expect somebody else to accept your effort when you're not happy with it? Come on now. Come on now. That's a different type of narcissism. You want somebody to accept your effort, but you won't accept your effort. Oh. Oh, man. What type of psychology is that? Who do you think you are? Me? I think I'm me. I really do. I feel like it's great to be me. If you were me, you would understand. If you're not me, you're not gonna understand. Who gave that person the permission to speak the way they speak? Me. What's up, Tristan? Tristan in the building. Tristan in the building. What's up? Conversation with Soft Brain said, tap that like button when you walk in the door. Cook, no problem, no problem, no problem. What up, what up, what up? Look, man, so, I mean, that's our icebreaker for today. I don't have to do too much talking about people that don't want friends, but I think sometimes it's good to hear what these people got to say because there wasn't any pain in his voice. Notice that. There wasn't any pain in his voice. He wasn't pained by saying that he didn't want friends ever again. That he would love to just keep it cordial and keep it moving, not have the obligation to be in certain places that he don't want to be anyway. You know, I think it's time to move into our first little section of the day. It's gonna be the first thing. Now we got a show to put on for y'all today, so we're gonna go through certain things. We're gonna go through this one right now, and this one is our Black History Month question. We made it possible. There might be something that you guys didn't know. We're going to find out about it today. We're going to get a little bit more.
Civil rights bill is the reason why our parents got to come over here.
Boom.
Now, you guys didn't know Godfrey's family are immigrants. He's talking to another immigrant to the United States. And so this is a little bit about the United States immigration from perspective that you might not expect. See, guys, look, we all know what's going on in the world today, especially in the United States. And we all heard about it. It's exhausting and everyone's starting to get burned out over it. And every time you start talking about it, it just sounds like
blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
And I'm not trying to hear that. We have certain obligations, things that we want to talk about with the people that we want to talk about them with. But if all you hear every time I start talking about immigration and ICE and
blah, blah, gay sex, blah, blah, Congress.
I'm not trying to do it that way. So we're going to go a little bit of a different route. Let's talk to our boy Godfrey over here. What's up, Godfrey? How you doing, man?
The civil rights bill is the reason why our parents got to come over here.
Boom.
1964, Lyndon Baines Johnson had to sign that civil rights bill. You know, Martin Luther King is sitting right next to him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is the reason why Koreans can come here.
Yep.
Koreans, Indians, Arabs, Nigerians. It's because of the civil rights bill. Right. It's because of African Americans, foundational background, coming in here, busting their ass, being treated like.
I find it funny how there are people out there that will tell Black Americans what their history is. And right now, in the middle of Black History Month, we have a contender for one of the most egregious, but luckily, we have Godfrey here to correct the record on FBA and ADOS history, the Negro American history. We need to get some things straight.
My father refused. Like, we would have been eligible for welfare.
My parents didn't play that
my
shit.
dad was irritated by the idea. It was like, why would I? Like, I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody to.
And you can see the path that this host, Akbar, who's also Nigerian, he's going for the trope of the Black experience being tied somehow to welfare, which nothing could be further from the truth. And it's interesting.
Fact.
Godfrey has to correct him on several things.
Hey,
but it wasn't a sense like I'm better.
Once again, I have to stop it right there for a second because we're going to have to address that too. Listen, y'all, stop letting people tell you where you came from. Stop letting people tell you that this is what you're supposed to care about. Because let me tell you, the facts of the matter is, if you look at the numbers will say that overwhelmingly Black folks were not abusing welfare at any point in time in the country's history. It's the poor whites, but that's just how it is. Go look at the numbers if you don't believe me. It's the poor whites. The welfare queen thing was made up in the 80s so the black people would find another reason to victimize black women. So we're not doing that over here. No. We listen about facts. You got an African and you got an Akbar who is an African-American African. Hey, look, y'all, it's very confusing when it really starts to get down to it, right? Because all that shit's made up. That's why. I was going to keep it real with you. I don't have time for the BS today. We have a shorter than normal show, but that's just how it works. All of that's made up. They're people, right? They're people. Brown people doing brown people stuff. And when brown people do brown people stuff in a place where brown people are not normally accepted, somebody makes up some crap about them. And this is the type of stuff that we have to discuss. So let's just keep it real right here. It was not the African brown person in the United States that was abusing welfare. Most of the time, they weren't even getting it. They were denied. They had waiting lists for Section 8 that date back 14 years. So it couldn't possibly be them, right? Of course not. Of course it isn't. It wouldn't be. It couldn't be because that's part of the system, and the system isn't fair. Correct. Are we on agreement with that, chat? We're on the agreement that the system is not fair and that the system does not care about brown people. Okay, then. Now that we've agreed on that, let's move forward. Oh, we got new people in here. What's up? We got every bill or amendment that was ever put forward that brought equality was immediately met with loophole efforts to nullify said bills or amendments. Each required enforcement afterwards still. What's up, McKinnon? How you doing today? McKinnon, if you do want to buy a hoodie, you can head over onto the Raw Society Coalition channel and go to the shop and get you one of these hoodies for yourself and your family. Not a problem. Now that we've gotten the hoodie gate out the way. President Jimmy Carter was family on welfare and government assistance at one point in time. Yes, that is very true. Tristan Lewis, what's going on, man? What's happening? He said this is the best version. This is Tez when Tez don't care. So y'all like that. Some people like that. Hey, Matt, you know what? It doesn't matter. I like it. So let's keep going with this. And I had to address that real quick, and we're gonna keep it moving.
Then it was just this mentality of we have the ability to do it, so why not just go out and do it?
And Nigerians' vision of America was like, yo,
right.
If I get over there, are you kidding? Like all like immigrants were like, America. Look at Ellis Island with the Italians and the Polish, and they were like, we here, bro. We're about to what? Yeah. It was just that was America, because America pumped itself up like this place of opportunity and freedom. And I think also, and just being like African Americans it's part of my culture. I don't care what anybody says. My friends, a lot of my friends are African American playing football. Southern, they're my boys. It's like, and you study American history and you really study how African Americans have suffered. You go, you know how many African Americans are hardworking?
Yep.
Tell them.
All about education.
Yep. Tell them.
So what are you going to say? W.E.B. Du Bois, who was the first to get a PhD at Harvard.
Tell him.
He wasn't working hard?
Right.
I'm talking about in the early 1900s when they didn't let us have shit.
Right. Tell him.
How did he get a PhD at that time?
Because he took it.
You're talking about Lewis Latimer, who invented the filament for the light bulb. That's the reason why Edison, when they were trying to invent the light bulb, it was all kerosene. So it was exploding. I read the whole book. I read Edison's biography. It was all exploding everywhere. And Lewis Latimer, black dude, apprentice, that filament that you see in the light bulb is a black man that made it.
An invention of a black
because every February
American.
was Lewis Latimer.
Right.
But he was the one that created it. When it was, you couldn't
we appreciate that.
We appreciate it, but African Americans have always been hardworking.
But no, African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know.
Low-key, the hardest working, because we had to work for free for such a very, very long time. Let us not forget that. Oh, we're never going to let you forget it, obviously.
Hey.
It should be
I'm going to be a little bit more objective here. Look, while I am in agreement, I know a lot of lazy motherfuckers too. I know a lot of lazy people. I think I know less lazy people than I know hardworking people, though, and I think that's the point that needs to be made. Because let's not act like some people aren't just inherently lazy. Come on now.
That we repeat constantly. It's not to make you feel guilty. It's just to keep score, to actually understand context of how we get to this position here.
African Americans have always been hardworking.
But no, African Americans have been hardworking, but I don't know.
But opportunity.
What about the appreciation of the hard work for the immigrants who came to this country and worked hard?
Here's the thing:
what? The appreciation for the immigrants who came to this country that work hard.
Yeah, you're so here's the problem with that, right? And so I love to give people this viewpoint. So if y'all can feel what I'm talking about when I give you this viewpoint. Let me know in the chat so I don't just, stop early, because I will. I totally understand that we have hard-working immigrants who come to the country. That does not discount the people that are here working hard and have worked hard for generations. If you come into a culture of people where 1% of the population has 90% of the wealth, then everyone has to work hard to a certain degree to get the things that they desire. Now, if you don't desire much, the amount of work that you might put in compared to somebody that wants it all is going to be a lot less. That doesn't make you lazy. It just means that you understand that you require less than the other people do. And that's not saying that their greed or that their desires and their wants, what might be monetary or physical possessions, are bad. I'm not vilifying you for having nice things or wanting nice things. I don't think that that's very American of me. I don't think that's very forward thinking of me. I don't think that that's progress or anything like that. I think that if you're one of those people that needs less, great. If you're one of those people that needs more, great. But if you need more, put in more work. The thing is, that's the way that it should be. It's not the way that it is. Some people that work really, really hard to get something small, somebody else doesn't have to work at all to get the exact same thing. That is a free market, a free-ish market, capitalism, the exploitation that comes into capitalism and consumerism. Those are all subjects for a different day. What we're talking about with this specific incident is saying that they work harder than these people, or these people work harder than those people. Why are you comparing the amount of struggle that it takes when y'all are both struggling for the same thing together? When you can stack yours and they can stack theirs, and maybe y'all can stack on each other's to make a step. I'm just saying, if you got two sets of hands, it's a whole lot easier than having one set of hands. I've experienced this on a personal level. Take that the way that you will. What I will say is a lot more prevalent is people looking at one group of hard people and then looking at the other group of hard people and comparing them and pitting them against each other so they continually work harder and burn themselves out. But hey, I'm just a guy that watches the society move around him.
I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless. That the appreciation of Black American contributions now. This came out a while ago. It didn't come out during Black History Month, but this clip is going viral again. He wants us to show appreciation for people who came here after the fact, after the hard work was put in for hundreds of years. And now we're supposed to show them appreciation. Mind you, this is a people who we've accepted in for a vast majority of our history here.
Not even just that. If you come to a place where people are already working hard and you start working hard too, you're just taking part of the culture. Just saying. I'm not sure about that, Ray said. If you did, you could provide something. Maybe I'll do a bulletin.
Every time somebody left their shores, they were welcomed here with welcome arms in the Black community. I mean, from Nigerian to Asian to any in between, Hispanic even too. But somehow we're not showing appreciation. I wonder why now. I think it has a lot to do with things that have happened in the past few years, people getting butthurt about delineation. Delineation, a very simple concept, a concept that every other group participates in. But once Black Americans, FBAs, ADOS people, the descendants of slavery, once they are becoming conscious of what they are outside of Africanness, it's a problem. And
that's where I want to leave it at. Because that's what I want to talk about right now. There's so many different types of people that can come out of a landmass that is as big as Africa. If y'all don't understand this, all the other continents will fit inside Africa. Essentially, Africa is bigger than everything else combined. If you don't believe me, get a map, an actual map, look up some actual facts. I don't have time to put it on the screen for you today, but there's a beautiful thing about the fact that you are watching me right now. If you're watching me, you have all of the capabilities of verifying that fact as soon as I get off the air. Or if you're really tech savvy, simultaneously. And I think that what you'll find is that your mind has been blown. Those little blue globes that you'd see in your classrooms were not accurate at the size of this landmass. No, they weren't. And I would think that that would be done for a reason. You know, there's a couple other things that would be great to go along with this today, but we are done with this section for today. If you guys want more of Black history and Black future, please watch my video from yesterday. It was titled Royal Pains. So go ahead and watch that one later on your drive, and you may be able to see what I'm talking about the different types of people and why making distinctions and delineations isn't always the best thing for uniting people together who don't necessarily have the common ancestor, or it stops at a certain point because it was taken from them. So you in this clip alone, you see a man that was born in America, lived the African American lifestyle, and a man that came to America with his family and lived an African American lifestyle simply by proximity to being Black in America. So it's really starts to get interesting after a while, guys. But we're moving on, and we're gonna get into our next topic of the day. But first, we got to walk this down. We got to walk this down. We got 21 questions. How many of you have played the game 21 questions? I think that the majority of us have tried to get through 21 questions, but the more that you play this game, the more you start to find out that it doesn't really have an end. And most of the time, 2 or 3 questions would suffice. And some people might say, why do you think that 2 or 3 questions would do if the game is called 21 questions? Well, most of the time, if you're the type of person that I am, you watch people, you don't have too many questions for them anyway. You're just observing them naturally. But let's say that there's somebody that you've known forever. Let's say that you are super close to this person. What happens when you two start to ask each other questions that you maybe didn't ask before? And I think a lot of the times you might come to find out that it was them the whole time. Everything that you've been looking for, it was them. Or maybe everything that you've been looking for isn't them. We're going to check in with these 2 people today, and we're going to see how this works. And I'm going to interject a lot of different things because I'm sure after not watching this is going to be a live reaction. I'm sure after not watching this that I'm going to have some reactions to what they're saying. So y'all react with me. This is T for 2. They're going to find out if their best friends were actually in love with each other the entire time. And this could go in many different directions, guys. I don't know which direction that it is. This is not the matchmaker program that we're doing, but we're going to be a little bit lighter on it today, and we're going to try to find out maybe what you were looking for was right there the whole time. How come you couldn't see it? And how often does this happen? Yeah, I'm a firm believer that that more than likely your best friend is in love with you, or you might be in love with your best friend. But maybe the proximity to each other stops you guys from actually falling in love because for whatever reason, y'all are too close. You know, or maybe you did fall in love with your best friend. Maybe your relationship was working out great. Maybe you guys get along. You guys rarely fight. You know, you have their back, they have yours. It's a symbiotic relationship. Y'all feeding each other grapes on the couch all the time. Y'all watching y'all favorite shows together. There's not a bunch of push and pull. Y'all have similar interests to the point of where, like, you can introduce something to them and they give you zero pushback on it. Y'all gonna sit down and watch this together and y'all both gonna love it. You can pick stuff out for them. You know, I think that's the type of love that most people are looking for. I think it is. But most of the time, it's like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're not really connecting with the person that you're in a relationship with, but you want to hang out with your best friend who just happens to be of the opposite sex, or maybe even the same one. Maybe it's because y'all have more in common than the person that you're sleeping with. Let's find out.
Hi, I'm Tatiana. I'm 23 years old, and my best friend is Adrian.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I'm 22, and my best friend is Tatiana.
We met 4 or 5 years ago in college. I remember he was getting his hair done, and I walked.
We'll take some time on this. Let's go back and look at what this chart says. So we got a chart here. Let's see what's going on with this chart. We got a chart. Let's look at this chart. Okay, we got, go back on his chart. Okay, next to her. Okay, well, they not letting me do this, y'all. We'll go back. Pause when we get to his chart.
Hi, I'm Tatiana.
Okay, Tatiana's Ripo Love Print Detail. Never heard of this before, guys. This is a new one for me. Communication, reflective, active. She's almost in the middle. Partnership, I or we. Intimacy, emotional, and physical. Okay, so she is more on the I side. She's not all the way there. She's not all the way to the left of the I side, but she is really, really close to being a lot less than 50. I say it's about 60-40. When y'all say 55-45, 60-40, I think the top one is 55-45. I think the second one is 65-40. And I think the other one is about 60-40, intimacy, emotional, and physical. So she's more on the physical side when it comes to intimacy. She's been less on the emotional. But I believe that's because she's more on the I side than the we side. Her vulnerability is kind of high, 70-30 on the open/guarded. And her love print is number 9. I don't know what a number 9 love print is. Some of y'all savvy ladies in the chat, if y'all can, let me know what a number 9 love print is. That sounds like something that's brand new to me. So we're learning today, y'all.
Yeah, I'm 23 years old, and my best friend is Adrian.
Hi, my name is Adrian.
All right, Adrian. RWEG. Do not know what that means. His love print detail. He is more reflective than active. I'd say that was like a 55-45. Partnership is 50-50, I and we. Intimacy, he is more on the emotional side than the physical. And she is more on the physical side than the emotional. Okay. Vulnerability. Guarded and open. So he is much more guarded than he is open. So his love imprint number is number 7. All right, we don't know what this means yet, so let's just keep on going. Okay, chat, yeah, I need some help. I need some help, chat. Based on the initial reactions that he gave her to when she walked in the room, put ones if y'all think that he likes her. Put ones if y'all think that he likes her. Put 2s if you think he doesn't like her. Y'all let me know, because we've already found out that he's the more emotional person between the two of them, just from the scales that we've already looked at. So put 1s if you think that he likes her, and put 2 if you don't think that he does. I need to see something from this chat. Okay, we got 3 1s so far. We're gonna keep it moving. Y'all let it come in. Let it roll in.
Same thing. I was like, not this being a real first date.
Please, I beg. I literally beg.
All right, he just mentioned that it's a first date. Oh man.
Why are you touching me?
I mean, like,
okay, I need y'all to do. Y'all put 3s in the chat if he's cooked already. Okay, if he's cooked from the very beginning of this, y'all put 3s in the chat. She got a little bit of trauma there, guys. Like I know this is sociology and psychology that we talk about, and the sports unscripted culture unfiltered part of life, but I think a big part of the friendships that we do choose are rooted in the type of trauma that we've had in our lives. I think that's on both sides. Whether you choose to have many friends or choose to have no friends, it's probably related to what people have done in your life and or things they couldn't control. There are some things you just can't control, people. And when you can't control them, you also feel a sense of helplessness in that as well. And some people say, well, I don't want to go through that again. And you can't really fault somebody for not wanting to make themselves available to go through the same type of pain or trouble or trauma ever again. I would never fault anybody for saying, well, I never want to feel that again. I would never say, well, you need to try. You don't need to try. You don't. Why would you want to feel the same thing twice if it was the worst thing you ever felt? I'm just saying, y'all. Think about it. No, I got A. Hey, I look. Anytime somebody tells you no or I don't know, it's a no. It's a yes or no question. I don't know has no in it. She knows. She ain't thought about it that way. At this point, I would have just
shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks.
Sometimes talking too much is a turn off. And in this case, I feel like he just gives too much of himself to be considered for the type of shoulder that she would like to lean and cry on. And he's stuck now because what I just saw is that he'll never understand what it's like to have what he actually wants from her. He gonna ask himself this question for the rest of his life.
Don't you want to leave the things to the glory? See what a thing's like.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to get there. I could be wrong, but I think he's cooked. Is being heard and seen and understood more important than being wanted physically? More important to even being lusted after? And I mean, words have meaning to me. They really do. I think that if your word choices when you talk to me make a huge difference because I carefully choose the words that I'm going to use when I speak to you. And if you're using neutral words or words that would not light a fire in any way, shape, form, or fashion, like ice cold words, then I don't think that I could ever see myself as somebody who would want you. I can't want people who don't want me. I've always thought this. And it's been at a point in time where, like, if you don't want me, then you don't want me. But I'm not about to sit here and beat myself up over it. But I'm also not about to do what he's doing either. You had 4 days apparently, and apparently she thought about it in those 4 days. So we may be standing, mistaken. But she thought about it, and whatever he didn't do in those 4 days kind of permanently sealed his fate, in my opinion. But we'll see. I need some insight. It's ladies in here in the chat. I need some insight, ladies. One of the things that the guys love to joke about, and if the guy doesn't love to joke about it, then he's probably not ever dealt with it at this level. But one of the jokes is, she hates my guts, but I'm always in hers. What she just described is like a guy that she can tolerate, but is a guy that she can tolerate and be around. And does that also mean the guy that she's not very attracted to? Because that's the way that it came off to me. And I'm not trying to be obtuse here. I'm taking opinions today. I am open to all the opinions in the chat box. This is one of those nuanced things that you can talk about without anybody actually being right or wrong, because everybody's individual. So I want real opinions today. Don't sugarcoat nothing. Let it all out. I'm going to. Let's catch up on the chat real quick before we move forward. Joe Jet said he's a little too nice and a little too sweet, not assertive enough for her to be attracted to him. Birds of a feather. This guy is such a girl. Ray says, talking to Classic Codes. He said, I don't know equals get your ass back in the friend zone. McKinnon said the trouble with these things are the unintentional dishonesty. We deal with this in marketing. People answer based on expectations, on desires, but not reality. Like when we ask, would you like to eat healthier? A common problem is everyone says yes, but in reality, who the hell answers no? Everyone would like to eat healthier, and I agree. I was just talking about this earlier. Everyone would like to do something, but putting it in action is something else. You have the will to do it. Ray said he has feminine energy. I wonder if he was raised but with his father. Obtuse equals annoyingly insensitive or slow to understand. Okay, let's keep it moving, y'all. Well, I think that's half the issue. A lot of women have said, and I've heard them say this to me and other men, that when they talk to men, especially men who are considered more masculine, they feel as if when they speak to the men are trying to solve their problem instead of listening to their problem. And they want someone to listen to their problems and not immediately try to solve them for them. For many of us, that's very hard. For me, it's very hard. I'm not even going to act like it's not. It's very hard for me. If I sit down to listen to your problem, it is very hard for me to take a step back and just listen without trying to solve your problem while you're telling me what's wrong. Now, I'm not saying that I have not taught myself to listen more. I have. I do listen more. But come on now. It's a really hard thing to break when you're a problem solver. And I'm a problem solver. I don't think of just listening to a problem and wallowing in the problem. I try to fix the problem. And if you come to me and tell me that it's an easily fixable problem that I think that's easily fixable, I'm going to try to fix it. That's just how it works. So that doesn't always mean I'm the best listener, but doesn't always mean I'm the best friend either.
It ended up just being us for like a while. Yeah.
So. Whoa. I reached down to grab some water, and she just carefully inserts that in there. They had 4 days of overlap where they weren't single. So she cuddled with him while they were single. Let's just say that she doesn't normally cuddle with him if they're both in relationships or even one of them in a relationship. How many of y'all cuddle with somebody else when you're in a relationship? How many? And men, if you do it, what's the purpose? Are you cuddling for continued access? Are you cuddling because you already had the access? Or are you cuddling because cuddling leads to access? Y'all let me know in the chat. I want the opinions. That's what we're looking for today. This is an interactive show today, y'all. This is not just me talking to y'all faces. But she just said that he's good to cuddle with. Okay, tell me more. She said, don't do it, bro. You're doing it anyway. You're not listening. Never mind. Never mind. I am here to glean knowledge and information and witness something in public.
You is one of the best things that I have because I can bring something so heavy to you, something that's just absolutely like heavy on my soul, heavy on my heart. And like we'll sit and we'll talk about it. If I want solutions, you'll give me solutions. If I want to sit and wallow in my self-pity, like, you know, you'll do that with me too. But I always come out of that conversation or out of any conversation with you where I feel like I either feel figured out or I feel like even if something's still there, it just doesn't. Where
are all my men at of any denomination? The men in the chat. Do you want your partner to ever figure you out? Do you want your girlfriend? Do you want your wife to figure you out? I don't want to be figured out. I don't think that there's any intrinsic value for me to be figured out by anyone. Not the girlfriend, not the wife, not the baby mama, not the sister, not the cousin, not the auntie. You're not the boss at work, not the homies that I kick it with. Figuring me out does not do anything good for me, in my opinion. So I'm not going to let you. Now, there's a lot that you can know about me, but figuring me out completely, I think that the only person, and now you know what? I think the only person that deserves to know me 100% is me. Me. And if you believe in the Most High, then that too. But even then, I got to know me 100%. I got to know me. I don't think anybody else does. I don't think it benefits me for other people to know 100% of me. Matter of fact, if you knew me 100% of me, what do you need me for? You already know 100% of me. What am I coming around for? What are you going to learn today? Nothing? All right, cool. So divulging a little bit too much is like I have friends, and I think sometimes I'll tell them something 15 years down the line, and they're like, I never knew that. I know. I never told anybody. You sat on that for 15 years? I didn't think it was a secret. I just think that it was necessary to tell anybody. And that could be anything from a restaurant that I found and enjoy, but I've never told anybody that I like it, or my favorite movie that I never tell anyone. I don't tell anybody what my favorite movie is. I probably never tell you either. All of y'all. Y'all might never know what my favorite movie is. Does that bother some of you? Probably it shouldn't. Probably never tell you. Keeping it 100. That's my movie. And the dog. The dog can watch the movie with me. Even if I'm watching the movie with you, I'm not going to tell you it's my favorite movie. Sorry. It is what it is. And that was not what I was expecting from everything that we got in the conversation. Let's review it. Okay, guys, we got McKinnon. McKinnon said she definitely has more consistent downplaying on his qualities than he has about her. Yeah, he's sure about her, McKinnon. He said, pie eye and kick to the side. McKinnon said, if I'm in a relationship, there's no other woman who's getting near me to cuddle. Classic said, reason would be all three. Depends on the situation. Said, my wife is the only person I want to figure me out. Everyone else can deal with the mystery. But for us, it makes us operate at a higher level. Classic said, hey, Tez, I'm with you, bro. I'm keeping parts of me to me. That's what I owe to me. Racehead said, can we really know a person's innermost secrets? Classic said, people who know you 100% can manipulate you 8 ways from Sunday. Fug that. You can't see me. Remember that saying? McKinnon said, I don't even think we are halfway through their video. And look, he just needs a different woman. We live on a planet of 7 billion people. There's plenty of women who would dig him. Just move on. Ray says he looks like my nephew. What's up, Roxy? What did you miss? We did 21 questions. Can she cook? I don't know. Probably not. You can leave right now just with a health question. Who is going to just leave? Don't get me wrong. People should be honest, but most aren't and feel obligated to finish the date. Joe Jet says she got him in the bag. Now she'll build a roster. Joe Jet, you're probably not wrong. And I'm going to give you my honest assessment. My honest assessment is this type of relationship can work. This type of relationship should, in theory, work. In theory, he is everything that she actually wants. The problem is, I don't know if they're physically compatible. I don't know. The way she hugged him looked like she cared. It did look like she cared, but I just don't know, man. I don't know. There is something. She didn't call him handsome. She called him beautiful. You know, she talked about his mind. You know, it wasn't too much that. Now, unless she's the masculine one. If she's the masculine one, I didn't get that from her. If she's the masculine one, then just maybe it'll work out just fine. You know, maybe she's the husband and he's the girlfriend, whatever. You know, I don't know. That's not a dynamic that I need to dive into. Anyone could do whatever they want. They might try to give it a shot, but I think that these two will end up back as best friends. But at the same time, she is the one that did bring up physical things first. She talked about how he was good to cuddle with, and she made sure that she threw that in there. And then she tried to, and don't get me wrong, y'all, eye contact is a physical thing. She may have wanted to avoid it because maybe she did like him at first. And I think that, and let's just keep it real, I don't think that most women start hanging out with men unless they like them first. You know, especially because like the first thing he did was roast her, and that probably, you know, turned her on to him a little bit. And then she got to see how deep of a person he was. And I do think that once you get past getting played, you do start to find other traits attractive in people. So, hey, it's up in the air. I'm not going to follow them. You guys know where to follow them if you do. It was on the video for long enough. But I think that it might be time to get into some other stuff right here and deal with somebody that might just be a little bit more on the side of traditional, to say, in his race of people. You know, it might be. And I think it's
a man, baby.
All right, let's go. Y'all ready? We got to get through this section, y'all. Before we do, there is something that I need everyone to do for me. So if you have not liked or subscribed to the channel, please like or subscribe to the channel. We are on a mission to get where we need to go. And as y'all know, YouTube is not free. And because YouTube is not free, we have things that we need to get involved in. And so go ahead for me while we do that. Let's like and subscribe to the TezDown. Y'all let me know if that's a thing. We got 2 sections to hit. The first section we got is reaching out to the exit, okay? But before we do the reaching out to the exit section, let me get them likes up, y'all. What's going on here? He said she got him in the bag. Now she's about to build a roster. Miss Perfect in the chat said, with his mannerisms, she probably thinks he is too feminine. She probably desires more masculinity. That's coming from a lady. That's not coming from me. What is coming from me right now is it's 1:45 in the afternoon, everybody. And with it being 1:45 in the afternoon, we must take a stretch break. All right. Put your hands out. I needed this more than y'all did today, promise. Work out today with boxing. Bring it back. Let's go. Sit down. Let's go. There's a lot of things together. We got 2 weeks when we're supposed to be out on work, typing, driving, putting the work time, so you don't get the purple come. Okay? Bring it back. I like where that feels a little bit too. Left to the right. Bring it in. Way right. Other side now. Good afternoon, y'all. Y'all gotta stay limber in the afternoon. Y'all got the whole rest of y'all day ahead of y'all. You feel me? What are you doing? A stretch break? Well, I like circulation. Yeah, I do. Let's roll this back out now. Other side. You get a good end of 16 revolution. After 2 or 3. Now check it out. 16, 1, 7. To your left. Gotta get that back in there, yeah. All the way. All right, we feel good now. We are limber. We are limber. Yes, yes. On the TezDown, we promote health above all else. We promote health above all else. Everything else that we do is one thing that we do. Gotta make me a hot chocolate with marshmallows real quick. She said, I've been needing that part. 2:45 here. All right. I like it. I like to hear it. Well, hey, it's a good thing that we did stretch out because I got a feeling somebody about to walk somebody.
I was referring to fighting a man. I don't fight people with the fallopian tubes, okay?
Right. Neither do I, but this guy does. Let's see what's going on with these people, y'all.
That's my answer.
I met my boyfriend in college,
Okay.
so kind of traditional.
I do have a best friend who her first and only Hinge match she is married to.
Oh, wow.
Marriage is definitely a lesser commitment because you could always just get divorced. Children are forever.
Falling in love is almost always the quickest part of a relationship. It happens fast.
I think my point makes perfect sense. I think most marriages would fare better if the couple, after 10 years, if they issue a 10-year marriage license, and after 10 years, you have to sit with the person and decide whether or not you want to go into the...
She said temporary marriage. She thinks couples will do a better job if they issue 10-year marriage licenses and they expire after 10 years. What do y'all think about that?
Next 10 years.
Welcome to Project 6+1 Social Experiment. Love has new rules. First dates used to be about chemistry. Now they're about additions and subtractions, 50-50, and what you bring to the table.
Can you love someone and still walk away?
I think so. Speaking from personal experience, walk away as in for good though.
Yeah, in terms of protecting your peace.
I think that even though I may walk away, I do so with the mindset of I'm keeping the door open for whatever may happen.
Wow.
Whether it is setting a boundary, like, okay, I'm not going to reach out to them, but I'm open to see what happens when they ever reach out and kind of go from there, you know.
Ego, what about you? How do you feel about protecting your peace, or do you allow that person back in?
I give myself closure. I don't think another person can help me get closure. So I probably, if the person didn't do anything like extremely hurtful, I might let them get what they want to get off their chests. But it's very unlikely that it will change our relationship moving forward.
Well, here's the thing. If it's not, look, if there's no reason, I'm gonna stop the double talk right there. If there's no reason for them to even be talking to you because there's no chance in your mind of them changing your mind, then don't waste your time or theirs. Say, hey, look, whatever you're trying to say to me, I don't need to hear it. Nothing is going to change my mind. There's not a thing that you can say to change what I got going on up here. Don't have the conversation. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of my time and yours and theirs and y'all in the chat. It's a waste of y'all time, especially because I got to watch y'all watch it while I'm watching it, while we watch it together. Don't say that 4 times fast.
It's not an abusive situation. I would let the person like say their piece. So at least when I see them in the future in passing, they feel comfortable enough to say hi and I can say hello back, but I'm not really a rekindler.
No.
Friendships harder to maintain as adults.
Don't say hi to nobody. Don't say hi to
So
nobody.
I'd like to start with Joa.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's just a time thing. I think is the main thing. Just time constraints. Everyone has a job and their own lives and chores and things they have to get done. Not to mention, like, if you want to have any kind of creative or artistic career, you have to add that on top of making enough money to survive. So I think just number one, it's a time constraint thing. But I think it's also because in platonic friendships, especially male to male friendships, you don't have a lot of opportunities to express how much you like someone or how important someone is to you if you're just friends. Like, there's no point in which,
God
again,
damn, Jimmy,
about male friendships.
that's some serious gourmet shit.
Like when you fall in love romantically, you spend, months telling the person how much you love them and showing them how much you love them. But in a platonic relationship, even if you think like this person's the coolest person in the world, I want to hang out with them, I want to be best friends, there's not like a formal, or there's no structure for like how do you communicate that in a friend situation.
Yeah.
So it just ends up.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I guess like your best friend is your best friend. As like a guy, like, you know, you'd be like, yo, that's my best friend. But like, we never like go up to each other like, yo, you're my bestest friend, and I think you're the coolest person in the whole wide world. You know, like.
But has it been said?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But has it been said like at some point that, you know, that's my best friend?
No,
or
like,
is that just like,
yes, this is my best friend.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
acknowledged as a best friend. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay.
That's so interesting.
But I could also go like months without talking to him.
You know? Negro. That's all you
So
had to
I'm assuming for
say.
the women it's different then in terms of like being able to maintain your relationships as adults with your female friends.
I think it's a little different. I've been able to maintain quite a few of my like close friendships, and most of them, unfortunately for me, have been they're long distance. I haven't really had a choice. We've just like gone different ways. But I do find that the ones that I've been able to maintain the longest and the healthiest are the ones that have a lot of play in them. And I don't know if play is the right word, but like the person who like almost reverts to a certain like childlike type of, you know, like around them. It doesn't matter how long like you've been away from the person. When you talk to the person, there's a, you know, it's a little different from like understanding the person, being like tolerant of the person, like, but play in itself, when like you feel a certain way around the person, you know. I remember, I don't know who I was talking to, but it was probably you, but I had said like one of the things that I miss the most about a friend that I'm no longer a friend with is like there's a version of me that I was around her that I will probably never see again or like never experience again because she's not there to bring it out of me. That's kind of how I think about like all the different relationships that I'm in. So like a friend that makes you feel like you know, you feel a certain way around them. I think those are the friendships that withstand a lot of all the things that, you know, we're talking about.
Shizzy, do you have anything to add?
You just have to be like,
No. They get on your nerves. Why are you allowing them around you to disturb your peace, to get on your nerves? Somebody help me with this. Because if you get on my nerves, I don't want you around at all for any reason.
way more intentional about actually keeping the friendship. Whereas like as kids, we're friends because of proximity. We're in the same, you know, class and spend all day in school together. Maybe we do sports together. So yeah, like once we start moving away from each other, we start having families. It's like you have to really be intentional about checking in or like still letting them know, hey, I want to be a part of your life kind of thing. And
Charlotte, should we forgive family by default?
No.
Why?
Because I feel like just because you're blood doesn't mean that
I'm
much.
gonna move on from the family because that doesn't go with our theme today, and I'll move up to another section of this that I wanted to hit. There's a whole nother section of this that I wanted to hit today, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's go.
I agree with that. Or you talk about who makes more money, and then you can decide the splitting of, because women.
So the question of this one is, should men and women go 50-50? And now, before I'm gonna preamble this, all right? This is not just simply a question about going 50-50 in a relationship. This one gets a lot deeper than the surface level of she got to have a little bit of skin in the game, or why is it always me, or any of these things that we normally think about when we think about paying for things in a relationship, or just trying to get to be in the relationship. So you might not know what somebody does. It's your first date, but what are the protocols for this? In 2026, what are the protocols for this? And so that's what the basis of this is, guys.
So that's my only reasoning.
You should pay for dinner.
Yeah,
you
that's
get
the
paid more
only
in life.
reasoning of that. But I agree with that. Or you talk about who makes more money, and then you can decide the splitting of, because women can make more money than the man. Does that mean the man must pay more? Like, and then I also don't agree. Like, why? Like, it's literally like, why is the man paying? It's all a level of the patriarchy. And how do we dismantle that? If we're like, how are women becoming equal if the man is still the one expected to make more money, expected to do the funds and stuff?
Michael, how would you respond to that? Being as you shared earlier that in a previous episode that you don't mind paying if you ask first on a date.
Yeah, I don't mind paying.
But elaborate, like in response to what she just said, she doesn't understand why men pay or why they're expected to pay.
I mean, that's like you said, it was a gender norm.
Yeah, that is the reason.
In previous, like in history, men were naturally more of a provider. Like they would go out and get like hunter gatherers to like we go out and hunt, and then we bring back what we caught or whatever. So it's kind of like the same kind of situation. Like if we're making the money and we can afford to provide this dinner or etc., that we would
better learn how to lie like me.
Yeah, hunter gatherer.
And also there was women hunter and gatherers.
Yes, there were.
Yeah.
I'm not denying the existence of that. I'm just saying that like if there was a norm that was set up.
Yeah, that's the reasoning, the patriarchy.
That's the reasoning why.
I'm gonna find me a white man and lie to him right now.
I did want to go back to what Joa said in terms of when you do initially go on that first date, how do you propose that being the standard that you set then? Like you go on the date, you go on the
that's
date,
so true.
and those are your beliefs or your ideals. How do you set that up for the other person to
Did you
receive
do that with
it?
your girlfriend?
I don't remember, to be honest. I truly don't remember.
No, that is a good question.
It was a
because the
while.
women
It was a
is-
while. Because I don't want to, I'm not saying, I've definitely paid for dates before. It's
Okay.
not like I'm not going to be a dick about it during the date. But the thing is that I generally think it's good advice that first dates need to be cheap to free. And I understand that some people disagree and some people, want a fancy date for the first time. But I think if someone is spending more than $50 on a first date, that to me says you're kind of irresponsible, because it means you don't know who the other person is, but you're still just based on their looks or whatever, you're deciding like, this is, I don't know who you are, but you're worth $50, which aside from the slightly demeaning aspect of it, it's also just like, you have no clue what is going to happen here.
Right.
Like, why do you think
irresponsible is hilarious?
I just think it's like financially,
That makes sense.
if it's a first date, you don't know who it is, you don't know who if you're going to connect, and you're already going to put down money.
Yeah.
It's like you're gambling before you even know what the card game is.
Do you think it becomes a little bit more performative if it's a fancier date?
Well, yeah.
I
Because
remember
think a fancier
asking you a goddamn
you're
thing.
not in a situation where you're trying to get to know the other person. You're in a situation where you're trying to show off for the other person.
Unless
Or
they're
the other
rich.
person wants, is trying to express that they want a certain kind of environment. But either way, the date no
This
longer
dude's
becomes
awesome.
about, okay, I want to get to know you and I want us to talk. It becomes about, all right, I want someone who's going to fill this kind of role, whether for the man or
Yeah, Negro.
And so, yeah, I
That's
think
all
it's-
you had to say.
I've been on a date. That was $250 was my first.
That's
date.
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
How was it?
$250.
How was it?
It was.
They paid for it, right?
Yeah, well, he was the real estate agent in my fancy building, so he could.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
It was like,
Well, what if also they
It's
just make that much like they make so
Exactly.
much money where it's like
That's his
paying
standard.
more than $50 is not that deep for them.
And
You
it
know how you
doesn't.
keep that money? You don't
You know,
spend it
and
like
that's
crazy.
why I like people like you. I like people like you.
Yeah.
Why
So
is
they have
everyone
that
so
expectation
fucking
that I was the
stupid?
person that's always gonna. And he's
Why
the
aren't
one
more
that
people
does that,
intelligent
And that's why
like
I'm not
me?
attracted to that. He's
So,
too.
but also, like in the dates, did it feel like $250 expectations were set on you?
Like, did you feel pressure to like have to do anything because he spent so much money on you?
No.
No. Okay.
But maybe that's because I'm just so like I will take my fist and shove it up you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which
So
hole?
maybe
He
it's
could have
just
wanted
me.
that. You don't know. We don't know this
That's
guy.
true.
Well, I don't think equality exists between men and women as much as we try. I mean, and this is not to say that I don't think women should have the same rights as men. That's not what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I'm just saying naturally, as women and as men, we're just different naturally,
Like
right?
there are different rules that still
Yeah, like
still exist.
women have babies and men don't have babies.
But
so
what
it's
does
like
that have to do with money?
I'm just saying, like in general, we're not the same.
No.
So it's like, and it doesn't mean that women shouldn't get paid as much as men. I'm just saying, because you had brought up the idea of like splitting on a first date, like it's kind of like we want equality between men and women, but then we're coming in and like the scale is kind
It's
of
already
imbalanced,
uneven.
right? But it's
It
like
is.
that's naturally always going to be the case because that's how relationships work, right?
sure.
Like in the general cultural sense, like men are the hunters when it comes to like courting the woman. Men have to court the woman, right? So in that scenario, at least back then, right? It's usually like, what is it? Survival of the fittest. Whoever's the best man wins, right? So whoever's like putting their best foot forward. So it's like,
But that's not biology though.
how's that not biology?
No, I actually read something.
I
Like,
remember
visualization,
asking
but it
you a
is informed.
goddamn
What
thing.
you say is like,
Like literally the ducks and the like animals, they be like,
but innately, it's not biology that men are more assertive and women are more submissive. That's not-
stupid ass
they usually are courting the woman.
Yeah,
because of the
I kind of-
patriarchy,
What would
though.
you?
No, I think I kind of agree. I, in that sense, do think that men should typically pay. I'm not opposed to paying. Like, I've paid for full dates. I've split the bill, even in the beginning of my relationship, all the way up.
All right, so okay, okay. If you paying, let me know who paying. Who's paying? Who's always paying? If it's the man that always pays, say the man. If it's the lady that always pays, say the lady. It's the person who requested the date. Because let's face the facts here. How many women are requesting dates from men? Very few, right? Right? Please tell me it's very few. All right. Let's see what's going on with this.
To now. But at the first date, it's like, I do want to be courted or wooed a little bit. And that's not to say that I want someone to spend a lot. My first date was a day in New York and we took the subway, we walked around, we got like a little bit of sushi that may have been, giving us a food poisoning, but it was fun. We walked around Central
That's
Park. Like
crazy.
he showed me around New York because I had just moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And that created a basis. And if we had met later, like if I was going to meet someone new, like I wouldn't want a fancy date, but I would still want to be paid for at least the first date to be paid for. Again, with the caveat that I'm still willing to pay for other dates if the relationship continues.
I can appreciate that. I would like to say though, just for the record, men also want to be courted. I know it's not a thing that like comes up often.
That's why I'm like, I'm totally okay with paying for a date as well.
No, I'm not going men's rights activist. That's not where I'm going.
There are certain rules, and yes, some of it is because of history and the patriarchy, and other are just kind of like what we fall into because there's never going to be true full equality, even though for things like salary, it could definitely be.
Yeah. So would you go on a second date with someone who asked to split the bill?
I would think about it. It's not a definitive no. Like the 50-50 wouldn't be the decisive factor in me being like, oh, you know what? I may or may not consider it.
For me personally, like, no.
No. That would be a red flag.
Yeah, for first date, nah.
It's like a phenomenal date.
Like
it's a great guy.
Like, lovely, amazing date, right?
Like love of your life. You're literally like, this is the one.
Like you're like, wow,
chef's kiss.
The one.
And then at the end, he's like,
let's split because this is how. Because he thinks how it is.
Okay, so I think we got enough from them that we needed to get from today. I want to talk about it. Let's go see what the chat's talking about. Oh man, y'all was in here doing y'all thing this time. All right. I'm gonna play it one more time because it was a nice compliment. Tez, you've curated an amazing show today, brother. I've been tuning in nonstop. No popcorn run, no bathroom breaks. Great episode today. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ray said, modern women, y'all need to stop. Can we get back to the basics? McKinnon said, a warning is all I need before you bust that sound out. I can't keep changing my pants. I can't give you a warning because it would lose its effect. That's just how it is. This is highest level sociology today. I'll be messy this afternoon. There should be 50-50. Everyone contributes to society, community, household. It doesn't have to be financial, but do something to contribute to the home. But women have called the home duty slavery. McKinnon said, when I was dating, I offered to pay. If she said she wanted to pay, I told her I appreciated that. Clean and simple. Clean and simple. I'm not going to get to the twist that's over here paying for something. What was that? I just had a glitch out, y'all, on the screen. Okay, we're back. Roxy says, laughing, Mr. Perfect in the chat. Mrs. Perfect in the chat. Classic. Am I the only one that thinks actually it's a good policy to be cheap to be free for a first date? No, cheap to free is not a problem at all on a first date. Cheap to free is the best way because you'll find out they actually like you that way. McKinnon says, Roxy, it's actually great advice. It's also a good filter. If they're offended by that, then their interest about you can't survive without superficial elements in the mix. Ray said, ever heard of going Dutch? Yep. Roxy said, gone Dutch before and paid before. Ray said, equal, we're not equal. Equal being the same in quantity, size, degree, or value. Hey, that's a conversation for another day. Guys, I mean, this is a nuanced conversation for sure. I think we found out that despite what we know, that two best friends can fall in love, and they can fall in love rather quickly because they already know each other. I think that we can also find out that it can be horribly damaging to friendships. I think that we discussed a whole bunch of stuff that was going on with African Americans and Africans that moved to America. And I think that one of the things that we can talk about now is the people who make all the difference when it comes to support. And a little bit of housekeeping here. Like I said, you guys missed the show, but let's get her out of here. Get out of here, girl. This is the Raw Society Coalition. And as you can see, we have the 5 constituents of the Raw Society Coalition that make up this Voltron unit. Shout out to yesterday. The classic codes. Classic will be live a little bit later on today, guys. Souls of Thought, Uncle Plug TV, Conversations with Soft Ray, and myself, the TezDown, where you've been for the last hour and some odd change. Please screenshot this so you guys can see exactly what we got going on there. There are going to be some drops if you guys missed the show. There are going to be some drops. We're not going to post the whole show right now. You guys should have been there. It was epic. It was fantastic. Some people might call it the best time of their entire lives. Some people might just say it was a really good time. Hey, everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. You know, everything is subjective. We got 2 more comments in here. What we got going on? Joe Jet said, can't seek men of higher value and then want them to see you as an equal. TNJ said, better late than never. Hey, that is a good policy in today's society. If you guys don't know, I'm still hunting for a midget. I got no problem hunting for this midget. You know, as many times as things were said and things were done, and then the ridiculous things that only they know that they said, do something about it. That's just the way that I have to say about it. Oh, y'all, oh my God, no, he wasn't racist. Y'all didn't know. Yeah, I thought he was gonna leave on some chill stuff. No. Like I said yesterday, 101 is my favorite number. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect the complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding. So, guys, I was asked a question. Did you get that application? Yes, I did, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up for you guys that wanted to know, because I promised that we would do this, and I'm a man of my freaking word. Plus, I do what I want. So, you guys can head over to nbpp.org/join to join the new Black Panther Party, a membership application for the protection of people. They have all the stuff that you need to know. There's a pretty simple application process. They have merchandising and different things that you guys can see. The new Black Panther Party for self-defense. And if you don't want to join, you can just donate. Define, develop, defend Black power. Gotta hand it down to these brothers and sisters. They are doing the thing, and they are representing their people, and they restarted this historic party over the last 13 years, and they have been doing a great job of bringing people into a place to where they not only know what they're talking about, they know how to do what they're talking about. Can't beat those people. The Warriors Code, let's read that. The new Black Panther Party for self-defense. The 5 duties of a Panther, the Warriors Code. The sole purpose of a Panther is to be a revolutionary in the African people's liberation struggle and to mobilize the masses towards self-determination. A Panther must be a vanguard example for African Black people at all times. In order to accomplish this is a great and divine mission. He or she must be spiritually, culturally, and politically conscious, respectful and courteous to all people, and demand the same in return. Demand the same in return. Militant, always engaged in the war for our hearts and minds of African people while carrying oneself in an organized and orderly fashion. 4, humble, willing to release any arrogant attitudes and superior ideals of oneself. Can't do number 4 that well. Number 5, disciplined, willing to sacrifice your lower or personal desires for the greater good of the mission. Those are all good missions for the Warriors Code. I'm sure a lot of people idealize a lot of different things. There's some things that I would never idealize with, and I get more on the lines of the other brother that we watched yesterday. You guys can go and check out yesterday's video for more from them. Oh, you guys didn't even get to see it. That's no fair. I'm gonna do it again. There we go. Gave you guys a chance to read it off. There's all types of stuff that's going on here, y'all. You can join, simple join, scroll down. They have a membership application, different services, disaster relief, defending our people, frontline warriors. A simple message here, Black Power. There's more. There's a briefing. There's so much here. You guys make sure you check them out. I promise to post it. It is Black History Month. And I am Tez. I'm 2-4. This has been the TezDown. I hope you guys pay attention to what's going on in the streets today and with everything else that's going on in the world. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys show up tonight. We're going to be doing the Human Experienced. That is me and Classic. That'll be a late night show tonight. Classic show should be live later on. I think y'all getting no middleman too. So you guys are lucky. And I'm not going to hold you any longer. Have a good rest of your afternoon.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time.